Hi, welcome to all future sales associates. My name is Tony Brancatella, and this is a professional sales e-learning video class. And this is a first in a series of tutorials that we're going to do for this course. So what you're going to have to do is answer questions as we go along. Most of the questions will be found at the end, sometimes during the actual video. So let's get started. This one is, what is your mindset? If you really look at certain questions about attitude that you have, how would you answer particular questions as follows? Do you avoid challenges or you embrace challenges? Or question number 2 is, do you give up easily or persist in the face of setbacks? Question 3 is effort fruitless and not worth it, or is it effort the path to success? As a long way, yes, you can answer these questions and just write down your answers to these to start off. And 2 more questions. Do you ignore useful negative feedback, or do you learn from criticism, I should say? Absolutely, that's question number 4. If question number 5, do you feel threatened by the success of others, or do you find lessons and inspirations in the success of others? Really, this one is a intricate question, because this really opens up a lot of avenues on how you see yourself in general and your confidence that you have also. So really, all these questions, pick one or the other, really determines if you have a fixed or a growth mindset. And of course, mindsets, people think that in general you can't change who you are, you're fixed. Well, believe it or not, intelligence is dynamic, and you can grow out of a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. Of course, this will vary from person to person, the amount of levels of fixed to growth, and in some cases, growth to fixed. The brain, of course, changes also based on experiences. So the experiences that you gain along the way really determine your mindsets. In most cases, yes, you would say it would go from fixed to growth, but this is not always the case. So, proven to be pivotal in helping students improve their academic achievement, to have a growth positive attitude and mindset, yes. This is a proven fact that the fear level is lessened, and the chances are of having success in any level of education really does improve. So, fixed mindsets. First of all, let's look at that. So, believing that your qualities are carved in stone. They can't change. This is who you are, and this is it. Accept me the way I am. Why should I change? This is the question that they always put to themselves. Why should I change? I am just fine the way I am. So it creates an urgency to prove yourself over and over again in this case, because you always have to ask yourself that question. I'm fine the way I am. Why should I change? And this really creates some kind of stress level in yourself and the people around you to have this kind of attitude, right? It is very consuming, and it really does not show yourself in the right light, as might say. So one consuming goal, proving oneself continuously over and over again, really tears apart certain other positive things about your life, right? So every situation that you have in your life, all of a sudden, right, you have to confirm that you are a smart person over and over again. You know, your intelligence, you have to reconfirm all the time. Your personality, what person you are, and also your character will also have to be rejudged continuously by this fixed mindset. And you will ask yourself questions very similar to, will I succeed or fail? Will I look smart or dumb? This is one question that they ask. Fixed mindsets usually ask themselves over and over again. Will I be accepted or rejected? Do I win or do I lose? Am I a winner? Am I a loser? So these type of questions are usually fixed mindsets are the ones that are asking themselves these type. While on the other side, being growth mindset, well, the attributes are not simply what you are born with and have to live with, but you can, like we said earlier, that intelligence is dynamic and you can grow with your experiences also. Always trying to convince yourself that you have what it takes, but This is a question that comes up a lot, about how to convince yourself that you have what it takes. Well, growth mindset, you really don't have to ask yourself that. You basically, if you don't think you have that, what it takes, well, you go out and get it, and you stay positive in your life. And the starting point for development, you have an understanding that you need more education, or you need to learn a little bit more about sales and stuff like that. So you can do this. And growth mindsets believe that the basic qualities can be cultivated through their efforts, through your efforts. You can cultivate them and grow and get better qualities that you would probably need in certain situations, no matter what your position in life it would be, right? So, of course, people differ tremendously from person to person, and the levels of fixed and growth mindsets would vary enormously. In some cases, in some other cases, not at all. But everyone can change and grow through application and experience. This is something that has been proven, that to stay positive, you can have a different type of attitude and approach to a certain situation that puts you in a better light no matter what it is. In this case, if we look at looking for a job or working for a certain company, and how would you be perceived by your manager, let's say. So, if you have a fixed mindset and you want to change, how do you get to a growth mindset? So let's take a look at this in a certain case of one person in a retail job or a management job. People who don't want to change think. This is no room for growth. If you have a fixed mindset, if you don't want to change, you say to yourself things like, the world needs me the way I am. This is important for me to stay the way I am. I'm entitled to something better. I don't need to put the effort. Who I am in life and my personality is enough for me to get something better. It's coming to me. I've been working here for 40 years, 20 years. That's a long time, 40 years. 20 years, well, I should get what's entitled to me. I should be the manager only based on the fact that I've been here 20 years. Well, not necessarily always the case. I should be recognized for what I have done. Yeah, in some cases this is true. But for you to say to yourself and base your whole life on this really is not the way to be. And not in positions of working for somebody else, or in positions of looking for a job. If we look at positions of retail, especially a low-paying job in retail, retail really is a stepping stone to something better. But in cases, a lot of people perceive retail jobs as being really the last possible working position that they would want in life. But in some cases they can't afford anything, or they can't have, or they don't have a position to get other jobs. They have no choice but to actually work in retail. It's demeaning, as they would say, right? Working in retail for a low-paid job, oh, I just do it, but it's demeaning. It's not the greatest job. But I'm not going to talk to anybody about this. If you're working for a store where they ask you to wear a certain hat, a certain tag, a certain color, and you would say, well, that's demeaning. I have to be seen in that color that I said I work at that store. I'm not going to mention any stores, but you can imagine certain food stores or fast food stores. You have to wear a certain outfit that can be perceived by yourself, and you would think by others, as being demeaning. Well, I'm educated and talented, so I should not have to wear this outfit, and I should not have this position in this low-paying job in retail. And with my experience, I should be a manager. I'm entitled to it. I've worked here long enough. I should have that position. This is what a lot of fixed mindsets think they should do, but unfortunately, this is not always going to work out. So, fixed mindset. Manager thinks you have a very bad attitude if you talk to them in this way, or if you think to them in this way, because this sees through. It sees through you, or they see through you on these levels and know what kind of attitude you have. Manager really needs someone that is responsible. And in this case, if you say things like that, if your job is demeaning and you're looked upon as not liking what you wear, the outfit, in this case, well, of course, you're not a very responsible person. You don't really care about the job. It really is just not for the salary. The managers do not see you as being responsible. So that new hiring, well, you can almost forget about it. So this is what really happens in a lot of jobs. To have a fixed mindset does not get you far, even in a low-paying job in retail. So you think, well, you know what? The manager is threatened by me. This is why I'm not getting the actual job. This is how fixed mindset thinks, right? Because of the way of who you are, you should be automatically promoted. Who does the manager think he is or she is? I should get this job. So people see your talents and rewards will follow automatically just because you have education and you have been at that company a long time. And you should be automatically given promotions, raises, and stuff like that. And if you don't, well, then you think, this is not fair. What's happening to me is not fair. And of course, you go out and you talk bad about your company, talk bad about your manager, and things like that. And it puts you in a very, very, very depressing and a very condescending spot. Why should you change? Well, growth mindset, your attitude and your thinking has to completely change. You know, instead of saying things like, I'm not good at this, you should be saying, what am I missing? What am I missing in education? What am I missing in experience? What am I missing in how I approach people? Maybe I should change that. A lot of fixed mindset would give up. But growth mindset would say, well, okay, that didn't go well. Let me try something different, a different strategy, right? And in most cases, a lot of retail, in retail I should say, fixed mindsets would say, you know what? This effort that I'm giving in this job is good enough because it's such a lousy job anyway. Why should I do better? Why should I be smiling all the time, right? While a growth mindset is this really my best work? Can I do better? And I'll give you just a pause here, and you can take a look down and read them yourselves and try to see how you fit in these types of comparisons. Okay, so you can pause the screen if you want to, of course, keep reading and going back. And of course, this is a video, so you can rewatch this video plenty of times if you like. So growth mindset. If you have this low-paying job in retail, you should be thinking, well, you know what? I need the experience. This is good experience. If I work for a major fast food chain that is worldwide known, this is very good experience. I still work for a multi-billion-dollar company. This is the way you should be thinking, and not that, hey, I'm just selling hamburgers. So this is a way of looking at it and saying, well, I do need the experience, and this is one way to get it in this multi-billion-dollar company. I need to work harder. If I do want to stay here and get a promotion, I necessarily have to work harder. I need to really have a better understanding of what the job is and put a little bit more effort into it. Also, I need to be more helpful to people around me. I need to actually, be a good coworker. And formality, as we discussed often, it's very important to have a formal attitude when it comes to working with people. And what you say and how you say it and the respect levels always have to stay quite high. I need to take time to learn more about the business. Yes, in this case, the effort of working an extra hour or learning more about the job or learning more about the company, this is all types of things you should always be saying to yourself. And of course, smile. Smile goes a long way. Your nonverbals go a long way. If you slouch, if you have your head back and you stand tall, this really shows that you have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Well, then, of course, if you have these kind of attitude and you think this way, well, certain transition starts to happen from fixed to growth mindset. But of course, everybody's different, so there is no guarantees that it will work for you as well it would work for somebody else. So fixed mindset really is like a coat of armor for a lot of people, and they really are comfortable the way they are, and they do not want to change no matter what you say to them in many cases, you cannot, break down this coat of armor. So mindset is not fixed. So attitude starts to change, develop new skills, relationships start to grow and deepen all of a sudden. And you find yourself waking up in the morning wanting to go to work with new friends, more skills that you have developed, right? And you walk into a place of trust. Your co-workers, your manager, where you work, and this all adds up to one thing. All adds up to a growth mindset. So here are the questions for the actual exercise itself. What is your mindset? So on a piece of paper, write Module 1, exercise, what is your mindset? And answer the following questions. You may write the questions also. So question 1 is, what is your mindset? Growth or fixed? Question number 2, why? Either way, growth or fixed, why is it? Question 3, if it is fixed, do you want to change it? Question 4, if you don't want to change, why not? And question 5, what do you need to do to make it a growth mindset? So simple questions. This is really just to elaborate on what we're going to do in this first module. Just so answer the questions and bring them into class and we'll talk some more. Thank you and à bientôt.